I posted one of these old Essence stories. Somebody sent me and I forgot about it, but I reposted this from Essence. Listen, this right here, where's that story? Right here. Intimacy intervention. My husband uses racial slurs during sex. A newlywed whose white husband calls her the N-word during sex feels disgusted, betrayed, and ashamed, and isn't sure how to make it stop.
Oh, it's a strong misunderstanding in this bitch. This foreplay.
You freaky. You fast. You manage.
What? You don't know how to... It's called leaving. You make it stop by getting the hell out of there. This is why, family, when we see these killer zaddies out here, when we see all of these killer zaddies and these tether women up here laying up with these killer zaddies and being found missing and all that stuff, they know the signs are always there.
But when you want to come at me with your fucking Black Lives Matter and this, that, and the other thing, and the white people need to go to the back because black people always had to go to the back, now the white people need to do it, fuck your ass. Get the fuck out. Get out of my country, you're causing a fucking problem. Bye.
I never said any of
Here's
that.
your ticket back to motherfucking Nigeria. Peace out.
I never said any of that.
You're done. You're done. You're a dumb fucking in my book. You have no fucking value to me.
You do realize it makes you sound like a racist when you use racial slurs, though, right?
Don't be a dumb. Don't be a dumb fucking. Don't be your average fucking shoe shine.
But that's what y'all wenches get for throwing black men under the bus, talking shit about brothers and shit. Looking down on brothers and shit, dating outside your race, putting the white man above you. Now the white man's upset, talking shit about your fucking people. Then he talk about don't be a fucking...
The signs are there. The signs are there. But look, listen to the story. Listen to the story, ladies and gentlemen. All right, hold on. Listen to the story. Dear Abiola, my man keeps calling me a nigga bitch during sex. And I hate it. I've been married to him for a year and I'm at my wit's end. My investment banker husband is from white old money family. And I'm the first generation black American woman whose family is from the island of Jamaica. There it is right there. I've been telling y'all. Now look, this is the killing part. She still found a way to kind of throw some shade at black men in this. Hold on. We met at a reunion for the Ivy League school we both attended, and he proposed in 6 months. We have the picture of perfect fantasy life. He wine and dines me, and we travel and shop the globe. Unlike all the other black men that I've dated in my past, my husband is generous, loyal, committed, and considerate. He courted me, and I never have to pay for anything. He said I could quit my job. He makes me feel like a woman. This funky mammy, and I'm pretty sure she typed this with her crooked wig.
For those in interracial relationships or marriages, how can you say you love your people and go out and marry the same people who have oppressed your people?
I guess I have to be the one to break it to you. My people are not your people. My people are not your people. See, my people are not oppressed or skin color possessed, and that's why we're able to date and love anyone that doesn't necessarily look like this. But I wonder why every time I see videos like this, it's always coming from a black American woman, from a black American woman, from a black American woman.
She still found a way to throw shade at black men. This mammy up here getting called all types of derogatory names by this white supremacist who she laid up with still found a way to shade us. Wow. No, I believe that's a real letter all day. Because I've talked to these mammies and bedwenches, and that's just how they sound. That's 100% real. I believe it's real 100%. Man, the crooked wig gang is something else. There's a reason why we're designating our group from the cake soap crew. These folks will get us killed out here with that self-loathing zaddy worshiping nonsense, man. We can't have these folks up under us, skinning and grinning, talking about brother and sister. No, man. Do y'all think we can have that woman around us? Man, come on. We can't have that. And that brings me to another story that we've been talking about. Let me get the family to chime in on this one. Let's get some advice on this one. Hold on. There it is. All right. All right. This woman right here. Now we got to talk. We got to chop up game about this one right here. Now look at this. Everybody has to chime in. She said, "My car is in distress. Four black men walk right past me. Do you know an old white man is the only one that stopped to see if I needed help? Y'all have to do a better job at helping and protecting black women."
You need some help?
Yes.
Okay, keep pushing. You almost to the corner. And AAA, they on the way. Hey, and if you want to push better, get lower. Push with your legs.
Now, man, look, y'all can't sit here. And I'm not trying to turn this into a battle of the sexes, because black men and women, we're all together. We all have to look out for each other. We do have to look out for each other. I agree, we have to look out for each other. But some of y'all can't be on some, I don't need no nigga. Y'all can't put that I don't need no man energy out there, because let me tell you something. We can see on your face when you have that I don't need no man energy. Ladies, we can look at your face and we can feel your energy and tell you got that I'm an independent, I don't need no dude, I don't need this. We can feel that energy. And we give you that energy that you give. You dig? We give you and we let you keep that same energy. We can tell when you have that energy. That's probably why, if that happened, the brothers didn't stop, because they could feel that energy. They walked past and they looked at her. Oh, she got a face that makes it seem like she got this. Oh, you got that. And also, some brothers might have been like, well, damn, I don't want to stop and try to help this woman, because sometimes certain women with that kind of vibe, if you try to help them, they be on some, oh, I got a man. I'm not trying to holler at you. Because on her page, she's talking about, there was some other stuff. She was talking about sexual harassment. So again, a lot of brothers have this thing where we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. So we see somebody who may be in distress, may or may not be, we don't know. And if we say something, is this person going to think we're trying to holler? And then all of a sudden, they're tweeting, you okay, sis? This is street harassment. Some brothers like, all right, let me just do me. All right, she'll be all right. I'm just telling you what the energy is. And yeah, I don't even think she asked for help. She just assumed that the brother should have stopped to help her. You understand? So y'all can't give out this crazy energy and then expect brothers to come through with the cape. See, y'all can't do that.
So when he has less and less control over you inside of the structure he has created, his leadership is automatically undermined by you manipulating your way from under his authority. And the protection of you is the first of the 4 P's to suffer from that. This is why so many black women be talking about black men don't protect us. The reason why he's not protecting you is because you have weaseled your way out from under his authority. Black women in general are not under the authority in any way, shape, or form of black men. Thus, you are not under the protection in any way, shape, or form of black men.
Alia.
Alia, how are you, Alia?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Now, where are you calling from, ma'am?
I'm in California, but I'm originally from Congo.
From the Congo. There you go. So what is on your mind? How long have you been here from the Congo, by the way?
About 10 years.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
Now, you're in California. Are you married to a white man?
I am not married.
Oh, okay. Are you dating a white man?
Yes.
There you go. How does your white man feel about foundational Black Americans?
I do not know.
Oh, you know. There's no way you don't know what that white man says in the bedroom about foundational Black Americans. Absolutely no way you don't know, ma'am.
Well, I don't think he thinks much about, he has his life to live, so he's not going to think about people he doesn't know.
Ma'am, he's in an interracial relationship. That man has...
an African.
He what?
With an African.
Yes. With a Black person, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's race conscious about the political and the social dynamic of race.
Not really. I mean,
ma'am. Do y'all live in Orange County somewhere?
No. The Bay Area.
Oh, you're in the Bay Area. Okay, so you're up there.
Yep.
So, yeah. So this man has a family. He has friends. He has colleagues. Well, he's very cognizant of the social implications of race and foundational Black Americans and our place in this society. He has an opinion.
I guess, what is the purpose of your question?
Because I want to know your mindset. That's going to let me know about you.
If you want to know my mindset, you should ask me, not ask about my partner's mindset.
Oh, that's the real deal. But go ahead, man. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Dated a white person. Stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
Yeah. So I dated this white guy who almost only dates Black women, right? And cool, whatever. But a couple months into the relationship, we started having arguments, and it was stuff that I didn't feel was worth arguing about. And it got to the point where he wanted to be upset and say that I was trying too hard to change him because I asked him to not use the N-word. Yeah, I asked my white boyfriend to not use the N-word, and he got mad about it. He thought just because his non-white friends, who also weren't Black, since they were okay with him using it, that it would be okay to use around his Black girlfriend and her Black family. Needless to say, I'm single now, so
And you've dated a white person. Stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
So I have before shared the story of the time my ex-boyfriend's friend stole his phone and texted me from it saying he'd always wanted a Black girl to dom him and get revenge for slavery, which, one, that wins. That will forever be the most nuts insane thing a white man has ever said to me, even if it wasn't who I thought it was. But in terms of things like actual romantic partners have said to me, this guy I kind of dated and really thought I liked said, "I like you, you're cute, but you're trouble. You're just not the kind of girl I can bring home." Which I think we all know that's just a very coded way of saying I can't and won't bring a Black girl home. But it was also so confusing because he used to make fun of me all the time for being a goody two-shoes. Like I had to talk you down from getting on a motorcycle high, but I can't meet your parents.
If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest.
Nah, because this one was meant for me. So let me tell you what happened, okay? One of my exes is white, right? I'm not going to say which one. I'm just going to say one of my exes. If you know me, then you know which ex is white. So it wasn't him that said the crazy shit. It was one of his parents. It was his dad, actually. So his dad asked me, could he tell me a joke one day? And I was like, no. But my ex convinced me to let his dad tell me his joke, because I guess he didn't know what the joke was. I don't really care. So he says, what is Black people's favorite tree? Like our favorite plant. What is Black people's favorite plant? And I'm like, I don't know too many herbalist Black people. What's the joke? He says apple trees because they like to hang from them.
Alright, so I'm going to break the rules a little bit on this one. My ex-husband was white, and we were together for 13 years, married for 7. So I'm going to talk about something he said, something his family expressed, and something the community that we were in expressed. So I was the first and only black girl he's ever been with, and besides saying that he'd never seen himself having a mixed or colored or non-white baby, he would make remarks. I'm not going to go into detail, but like about things about my body that he was just not used to or did not expect it to be the way it was, or how different things about my body were from a white woman's body, for instance, like the color of my areolas or things like that. And so, and he didn't say anything with like malintent, but I don't think he clocked or realized that, you know, growing up with Eurocentric beauty standards, how some of those comments could be taken.
LOL, black women call black men colorist, while making excuses for the most colorist race on the planet. Keep that in the back of your mind when you listen to these females.
His family made it very clear that his grandfather didn't really like black people, thought that they were ghetto and just didn't like black people, and I was in fact the only black person that his grandfather liked. And I don't know what kind of compliment that was, but it was supposed to be a compliment. So we met and dated at a Christian college. We interned at churches together, and we eventually went into full-time ministry together. And I can't even count the amount of white men who wanted to remind me to be more submissive to my husband. Whether I was actually saying anything or not, I was constantly being reminded of, you know, what my place was and how I needed to behave, and that God would be glorified through my submission.
If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you. I'll go first. I'm already going to break the rules because it's not necessarily something he said per se. It was a number of things, but it was more how I felt. He was the sweetest, nicest guy ever, okay? But like just typical cishet, able-bodied white man. Like just so ignorant to the world outside of that perspective. To the point where I was like, okay, if we're gonna get more serious, I'm gonna have to make sure you're cultured. So I sat him down and we watched an episode of The Boondocks. And needless to say, he was a little traumatized. Anyways, a couple months went by and I was like, all right, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I could date a white man. I can't. And it was time to break up with him. Again, he was so nice. He was so freaking nice. But like, I was terrified of going over to break up with him. To the point where I sent a bunch of my friends my location and I was like, if I don't text you in an hour, come and get me, something's wrong. I genuinely thought he was gonna like lock me up in his basement. Granted, I had just recently watched the movie Get Out.
Wait till she see the Color Purple remake.
But like, white male rage is no joke. I was terrified. If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest.
Oh, there's so many, being a Afrocentric woman in Canada, but let's start with the one. At my ex-boyfriend's place, who also happened to live with his roommate, which is also his best friend, and he decided to say to me, while we're just watching hockey, nothing crazy, we're watching hockey, he turns to me and he's like, Tiona, so why do black people like chicken and watermelon? So we're watching a hockey game. I don't know what that has to do with, but since you asked, they're actually given watermelon in the field, so they didn't actually have to give them food.
Actually, the slave master wouldn't give them food, so they ate the fruit they were harvesting in the fields. They weren't given anything. This is why non-FBA people shouldn't always speak on Black American history. They tell the stories from their weak mindset, making what they say inaccurate in most cases. It's just like how they tell the lie, that we were given freedom.
Since you asked, they're actually given watermelon in the field, so they didn't actually have to give them food. It was like, he looked at me just blank, everyone just...
And you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
Buckle up. When I was 6 months pregnant with our son, we used to live with Slappa's sister and her significant other. They fought a lot. One day I was just like, let's just go to my sister. Her spouse wanted to go too. Before I could answer She gets mad. She tries to kick me in the stomach at 6 months pregnant. She misses. Her spouse body slammed her and told us to leave. She threatened to unalive them if we did. I run outside. They end up calling the police on her. Y'all know I'm not about that calling police life. Slappa and her parents show up. My sister is on her way. My mother-in-law finds me in the kitchen and proceeds to say, "You're sure acting your color by overreacting the way you are. She didn't even kick you. She missed. You're completely overreacting. But you never want to talk to anybody because you're too vulgar." How am I overreacting? This bitch tried to kick me in the stomach. I'm pregnant. Y'all, those people wild. Y'all, and that's not even the craziest part of that story. You should have 2 seatbelts on by now. Buckle up again. So she gets arrested. She goes to a mental hospital. Good for her. Here's the kicker. They do a family group session. She goes around in a circle telling people what she feels in her heart. She doesn't say anything about me. So I ask, why the fuck did you try to kick me and your unborn nephew? Their parents are like, oh, me being so fucking done with those people, I was like, shut the fuck up, I want to know. You want me to be vulgar so damn bad, here it the fuck is. Tell me what the fuck. She says, I hated that my dad spent a lot of time with you because he was hanging out with his granddaughter. I hate that he showed up unannounced to our house just to see her and you. Her spouse's parents died one after another. You know I have dad grief. But she still said, I hate that my spouse chooses you to talk to about their grief. But she still said, I hate that my spouse chooses you to talk to about their grief. Not talking about the fact that she told them to just swallow it down and forget about it. So of course they came to literally anyone other than her. She hated that me and Slappa were together, even though she introduced us. I was just the bitch that stole all the men or mask-presenting people in her family. I
think it's humiliating the way you're treating Mr. Kennedy. You'd be a sight more humiliated if Mr. Kennedy's lice gets on you.
She spread rumors about how I was cheating on my husband, my spouse, with her spouse, and her dad. Again, I was 6 months pregnant and on bed rest. I countered her at every turn and said, you could have said something. You could have said something to Slappa. You could have said something to me. You could have said something to your father. You could have said something to literally your spouse and everyone else, but you didn't. But I'm the demon, right? That you didn't even mention in your family circle speech. After that meeting, she goes back and Slappa's family pulls us aside. Part 3 coming soon because that's not it.
And you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
So when I was like 16 or 17, I was dating this one white guy. And we went on this like nightly little cruise. And we were at the top of this hill just kind of watching the sunset. And we were in the alleyway. And this one guy just came and he was trying to turn down the alleyway, but we were blocking it pretty much. So the guy came out of his car and came up to our window. And he just started like going off like, you know, cussing us out, flipping us off, trying to ask us to move and stuff like that. So I told my boyfriend at the time, I'm like, hey, come on, let's just go. And so he was just like, you know, trying to cuss him back out. And I'm just like, bro, come on, let's just go or whatever. So he pulled off and he was like, oh my God, fucking black people. And I just looked at him and I'm just like, but that could have easily just been a white person. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, fucking black people always starting shit, this, that, and the third. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I mean, but we were kind of blocking the alleyway. I'm like, all we have to do was just move and just keep it pushing. Like, why'd you have to bring his race into this? It literally could have just been as easily an angry white person. So, yeah, that one.